Welcome back. Returning now to Europe's migrant crisis, because tensions flaring across the EU, reaching fever pitch, of course, in the French port of Calais, where residents have been protesting over what they claim. They say they're to protect their homes from refugees.
Calais and its population can be stormed by refugees, but they won't be punished. It's dangerous for our children. It's unacceptable that an evil-minded group allow themselves to damage Calais and insult France.
Residents have gathered to call attention to the impact that Europe's migrant crisis is having on their town. The move comes after Saturday's incidents where a group of migrants stormed a UK-bound ferry. Tear gas and water cannon were deployed to disperse them. Dozens of people were arrested. Richard Burnett, who's from the British Road Haulage Association, told me that more security is needed to prevent refugees attacking drivers as they try to stow away in their vehicles in Calais.
We've been demanding that the French authorities actually deploy the military. I think for some time now, this problem has been raging. Since the crisis back in the summer, we have not seen an improvement in the situation. When you are having things like shopping trolleys, bricks, blocks thrown from motorway bridges, that's a major risk, and therefore we need to make sure that we've got the right resource and support in place to stop that from happening in the first place. Literally on a daily basis, weekly basis, we are seeing drivers being attacked coming through the port of Calais. I think it's very clear now after Saturday that there just simply aren't enough gendarmes, CRS to contain and control the situation. And, you know, we're calling for the French government to deploy the military in order to put law and order back into Calais.
Over the weekend, people across the United States held rallies in support of Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. Thousands turned up in at least 35 cities with the hashtag March for Bernie trending on various social media platforms. But supporters have complained about the national TV networks remaining silent about the huge turnout for the event. Political analyst Caleb Mopin explained what he thinks is behind the growing support for Bernie Sanders.
Among people who traditionally vote for the Democrats, there is a huge amount of support for Bernie Sanders because he's saying the kind of things that they believe, not the kind of things that Wall Street wants to hear. And Bernie Sanders is very much becoming the candidate who's associated with people in the United States, ordinary, average, working-class people who are upset about the direction their country is moving in and feel like the Obama administration has kind of betrayed them and not offered the hope and change that they were so excited about in the two elections when Obama was elected overwhelmingly. So I think there is a real fight going on within the Democratic Party between the establishment Democrat and the average person who votes for the Democrats who have just not seen the changes that they want to see. And Bernie Sanders has become somewhat symbolic of the frustration among the rank and file of the Democratic Party, among the labor unions, and among the many progressive organizations in the United States.
The Sanders campaign has long been highlighting a lack of TV coverage. They calculated that over the last year, their candidate's only been given 10 minutes across the three major networks. In contrast, though, Republican Donald Trump has clocked up nearly 4 hours of coverage. In the meantime, some have pointed out that media attacks on Sanders actually play into the candidate's hands. Glenn Greenwald from the UK's Guardian newspaper thinks there's a direct link between bashing the Sanders campaign and the growing support for him. In fact, the latest poll suggests he's now leading by 27 percentage points in the state of New Hampshire. Online for you, how one rock legend's dream home is getting the cold shoulder. U2 guitarist The Edge doesn't seem to be able to pull any strings with angry locals over his plan to build 5 eco-mansions in California, including one for himself, of course. Also at RT.com, some great escapes. Check out our list of outrageous prison breaks and sort the fact from the fiction.